The village of Kijani is nestled deep in the fertile valleys of East Africa, surrounded by lush forests and rolling hills. For centuries, the people of Kijani have lived in harmony with nature, relying on their connection to the land and their revered witch doctors, who act as the spiritual and medicinal guardians of the village. Zuberi, the current witch doctor, is a man of mystery and power. Dressed in robes made from animal skins, with feathers and bones adorning his staff, Zuberi commands both fear and admiration from the villagers. He inherited the role from his mentor, Mzee Kalisa, who was known for his wisdom and kindness. However, Mzee Kalisa's sudden death years ago was unexpected, and though Zuberi rose to power swiftly, questions surrounding Kalisa's passing have lingered quietly among the village's elders. The village believes that Zuberi's abilities stem from the spirits of the ancestors, who guide him in healing the sick and protecting the community from unseen forces. He has saved lives, predicted rains, and helped harvest thrive. But while the villagers revere him, they also live in quiet fear, for Zuberi's temper is legendary, and those who displease him have often suffered strange misfortunes. Juma, a young boy from a poor farming family, has been struck by a mysterious illness. His parents, Kwame and Nia, have exhausted all traditional remedies from the village healers, but none seem to work. Juma is burning with fever, shaking uncontrollably, and has strange visions of dark shadows haunting his dreams. The family fears that an evil spirit has cursed their child. Desperate, they turn to Zuberi. Approaching his hut at the edge of the sacred forest, they plead for his help. Zuberi agrees but insists that Juma's illness is no ordinary ailment, it is a curse placed by a jealous spirit, and only a powerful ritual can save him. The cost will be steep. Not only must they offer the family's most prized possessions, but Zuberi also demands a sacrifice, the family's only goat, which they rely on for milk. With heavy hearts, Kwame and Nia agree. Zuberi performs the ritual, chanting incantations and spreading herbs over Juma's body. But despite Zuberi's efforts, Juma's condition worsens over the following days. The boy begins to speak in tongues, his skin grows pale, and strange symbols appear on his body. Fear spreads through the village. Has Zuberi failed? Amani, Zuberi's apprentice, is a bright and curious young man who has trained under the witch doctor for several years. Unlike the rest of the village, Amani has always been skeptical of Zuberi's methods. He respects the ancient traditions but has noticed that Zuberi often performs rituals that Mzee Kalisa would never have used. One evening, while cleaning Zuberi's tools after a failed healing session for another villager, Amani notices something odd. Carved into Zuberi's staff and tools are strange symbols that are unfamiliar to him. These aren't the usual markings of the ancestors' blessings. Amani recalls his training under Mzee Kalisa, who had once warned him about forbidden spells that corrupt the soul and draw power from the dead, rather than from the living. His curiosity piqued, Amani begins to watch Zuberi more closely. Late one night, while Zuberi is away, Amani sneaks into the witch doctor's private quarters. Hidden deep within the shadows of the hut, Amani finds an old, tattered book, its pages filled with dark rituals and curses. Flipping through the pages, Amani is horrified to discover that many of the rituals Zuberi has been using are not blessings from the ancestors but ancient, forbidden spells designed to steal life force and manipulate spirits. Even worse, Amani stumbles upon a passage that details how a witch doctor can extend his own power by absorbing the life force of another, something that eerily matches the circumstances surrounding Mzee Kalisa's death. Armed with this knowledge, Amani feels conflicted. On one hand, Zuberi has been like a father figure to him, raising him as a disciple. On the other hand, the dark rituals must be exposed to save the village from further harm. His heart heavy with responsibility, Amani decides to act. He approaches Kwame and Nia, revealing to them the truth about Zuberi's dark magic. Juma's illness, Amani explains, isn't a curse placed by an outside spirit, it's a side effect of one of Zuberi's forbidden rituals, one that draws power from the life force of the innocent. Juma is being used as a vessel, a conduit for Zuberi's dark magic. Devastated and enraged, Kwame and Nia gather other villagers who have also suffered under Zuberi's care. Together, they confront the elders and demand justice. As the entire village gathers in the central square, Zuberi is summoned. The tension is palpable as Amani steps forward, presenting the forbidden book as evidence. Zuberi tries to maintain his composure, accusing Amani of betrayal and claiming that the boy is simply trying to usurp his position. But when Amani reads aloud the ritual that describes how Mzee Kalisa was killed, the crowd gasps in horror. The elders, once Zuberi's staunch supporters, begin to realize that they've been deceived. Panicked, Zuberi makes a desperate attempt to flee. He rushes into the sacred forest, where he believes the spirits will protect him. Amani and a group of villagers give chase, determined to bring him to justice. As they follow Zuberi into the heart of the forest, they witness something terrifying. Zuberi, in his desperation, begins chanting a powerful dark incantation, calling on the spirits of the dead to shield him. But the magic has gone too far. The spirits, angered by Zuberi's misuse of their power, turn against him. A dark cloud forms overhead, and lightning strikes the ground near Zuberi. His body is consumed by the very forces he sought to control, and in a flash of light, he vanishes, leaving only his staff behind. The villagers stand in silence, shocked by what they've just witnessed. The elders, now fully aware of the danger they've been living under, turn to Amani. They recognize his courage and his loyalty to the village and offer him the position of witch doctor. Amani hesitates, knowing the burden of such a role. But with the support of the village and the lessons learned from both Zuberi's mistakes and Mzee Kalisa's wisdom, he agrees to take on the responsibility. Under his leadership, the village vows to restore balance with their ancestors and to never again allow power to corrupt their sacred traditions. As the villagers return home, a sense of peace and hope fills the air. Amani, now the village's new healer and protector, stands at the edge of the sacred forest, holding Zuberi's staff. He snaps it in two, casting the broken pieces into the river, symbolizing the end of an era of darkness and the beginning of a new, brighter future for Kijani. Asterisk power can be a gift, but when it is used for selfish gain, it becomes a curse. In the village of Kijani, the people learn that only through honesty, wisdom, and respect for the spirits can true harmony be maintained. And as the winds of change swept through the village, they found that from the ruins of betrayal, new hope could grow. Asterisk.